What is the essence that makes a car an SUV in your book?
Any jacked up hatchback which has a high seating position and 15-inch wheels, sometimes smaller, we started as an SUV.
Okay.
HT is highway terrain, AT is all terrain, MT is mud terrain. And we were coming down near Chandigarh, flying down the highway, and the front left wheel flew off.
Tires need to be the same size and they need to flush in your wheel arches.
Yes.
They shouldn't be overextended to stay within the
Yeah.
law. You can change your tires, but
See, 235 पे चलता है. Bulbars, you are not allowed. Buy a 4x4 all-wheel drive SUV if you think that you are adventurous enough to take on trips which involve snow and ice driving. Not off-road per se, but terrain.
I think you should get a Snorkel if you live in Gurgaon. Hello and welcome to The Connecting Rod, your one-stop location for everything automotive. And this time we're going to start on the subject of something that you all seem to love more than anything else, any other body shape of cars available on sale right now, and that is SUVs. And what we're going to try to break down is we're going to try to separate the posers from the real SUVs, what a real SUV means, and even if you're in the market for a poser or you have bought one, what those credentials really mean for you in terms of where you can take them, in terms of how you can drive. And we've got with us, of course, Mr. SUV himself, associate editor at Auto Today. Oh, sorry, deputy editor now at Auto Today, Rahul Ghosh. Sorry, I forgot to...
That it is your new designation as well.
Now.
Okay, fair enough.
On the subject of SUVs, you own two of them. One I don't like so much and one I really, really like. What is the essence that makes a car an SUV in your book? Not in the manufacturer's book.
See, the SUV crossover segment has become...
No, not crossover. What is an SUV?
No, crossovers also has become a very diluted subject. Okay, any jacked up hatchback which has a high seating position and 15-inch wheels, sometimes smaller, we started as an SUV.
Okay.
They are not SUVs.
Okay.
They are wannabe SUVs.
Yeah.
And they just look like one.
Yeah.
What an SUV, or rather an actual SUV can do is incredible stuff, right? They can be...
why are people so keen on these?
See, the Indian condition, or rather the global, if you see, the SUVs are really working very well. Earlier, these were considered to be, the soccer mom's car and all that. But nowadays, it's not like that. It's something which is very relevant, and that is primarily because of the conditions. Weather patterns have changed. Your road conditions are very varied. People feel a lot more confident on a highly seated, high ground clearance vehicle. Now, come to think of it, you don't need 4x4 or all-wheel drive every day. You need the clearance. You need the approach departure angles.
Okay.
Right? And this is what these so-called jacked up hatchbacks offer you. Right? Like, I have a Venue, which you don't like. But while driving the Venue, a few days back, when this, right now the floods are on and I was going somewhere and there was this underpass. And there was a lot of water in it. And the hatchback guys were like, okay, should I not?
What, do you have a number for what will be the seating difference between a hatchback and a...
It depends. Again, in the, let's...
So from like what I can remember, it's about from the ground, if we take our ingress angles as our road test goes, on average, it's about 30 millimeters. And
No, it's not just that. It's not just the seating position, Didi. It's the feel when you are inside that car, the airbox position, which is higher up, and that allows you to do a lot more in the city. Like if you look at a hatchback SUV, let's put it that way, the approach and departure angles are very, very tight. The wheels are at the farthest
What
corners.
is an approach and departure angle?
Good question.
Let's
So let's
get-
do some glossary
yeah.
stuff. Huh? So approach angle is basically the front part of the body which hangs out
Yeah.
from the front of your tire. If you know what I mean.
This is the approach angle.
This is the approach angle. So when you're going to, let's say, a city situation, you park on a pavement. You have a pavement parking, right? Where you have to chadao the car on a pavement and go. So when you go, you will see the hatchback bumper or the underskirt is scraping against the bumper, right? You have to take it at a corner and things like that. But an SUV with a slightly more higher ground clearance and a tight approach angle will be able to get on that pavement very easily.
A wider approach angle.
Yes. And the same at the back, which is the departure angle. So when you're coming down, if you are in one of your favorite body styles, which is a sedan, half of the body hanging out uselessly.
We don't park sedans on pavement.
You have to, unless you know you have a reserved parking. But when you're coming down, you have to be very careful, or you'll go dumb. What happened? You hit the overhang of the vehicle, right? So this is one. Second is the ground clearance, which is now a questionable thing, considering the Taigun and the Virtus having the same ground clearance, right? But
I mean, the same goes for your Verna and your Venue. In fact, I think the Verna has 5 millimeters more of ground clearance.
Yeah, it has. But please understand that the Venue is built to be an SUV. It is much more hardcore.
So you agree that the Venue is an SUV?
It is more like an SUV. Again, it is not an SUV.
I like how you're dancing around.
I am sorry. I don't agree to any vehicle. I'll make it very clear. I don't think that any vehicle which doesn't have a proper all-wheel drive / four-wheel drive system is a SUV.
Now we are getting to the point.
It is not.
Okay. Huh.
It is competent. It will give you that confidence. It will take you further without having bumpers hanging. But will it be able to go to Manali in winters? Or go to some snowy, icy place?
You know who you're talking to, right?
Yeah, of course.
How many times have you taken the Verna to Manali?
No, it's not you. It's not
Or-
mad people. I'm talking about the common man, like our viewer, who's sensible.
Yeah, and we should probably inculcate this into them that it doesn't really make much of a difference.
It does. It does. Like you are talking about people like you are an experienced driver, Didi. You've done a lot of terrain. You know what to do when things go wrong. Right? All these sliding, slipping videos which we see is why? Because people are trying to brake on ice. You don't brake on ice. You do engine braking. But hundreds and thousands of people are doing it going in one into another. Right? Why? So you have to think about the common person. Not just you and me. I know how to stop a car, use engine braking, it will stop. But what about that cabbie who has no clue? So if he has four-wheeler, that's why the Jimny has been adopted by Himachal Pradesh. Because with the four-wheel drive system, any novice can just go and drive on that terrain. Like right now in Manali, the kind of situation there is, if you go to the inner roads, it's in really bad state. And there I was watching some videos, like even so-called SUVs spinning their wheels out. And there you see a Jimny just go through like, no, it's nobody's business.
Okay.
So ability of the driver is not the point here.
Okay, so can we put a number? Like, so say, okay, now I'm buying it for this peace of mind that you're claiming.
Yeah.
So where should my approach and departure angles be? What angle should it have for me to consider that, okay, what I'm buying is going to give me peace of mind?
See, any manufacturer who's putting a 4x4 or an all-wheel drive system in their car have already done the maths for you. Okay? Let's say, for example...
No, without a 4x4. I'm talking about something like a Venue. What is the minimum tolerance for approach and departure?
See, it's tight enough. Because if you see the less... Like, I'll give you an example. Okay. Let's say I was driving the BYD Sea Lion all-wheel drive a few months back, right? That's a big all-wheel drive SUV. But it's got such big overhangs that I couldn't get it off a pavement like a ramp without being so careful. It would have gone in. Okay? There was so much of overhang. The approach angle is not good. Why? Because it's a cityscape. It's a cityscape SUV. Again, if you look at the European markets, a lot of even estates have all-wheel drives because of icy conditions there. Right? So is the BYD. If you want to take the BYD to Khardungla, it's going to be a nightmare. But it has all-wheel drive. So you have to be careful with the car you are choosing. Now, overhangs are very simple. Overhangs, the tighter the better. Now you see what is the level of stuff you are going to do.
So how would you judge an overhang?
Uh, I would say that the center part of the radiator grill should be as inside as possible.
So the distance from the wheel,
Yeah.
the front of the wheel to the
end of
end of the
bodywork.
bumper,
Yes.
is your clearance basically.
Yes.
And the
Overhang.
smaller that is,
Overhang.
the smaller that is,
The
the
better.
higher your
Chances of
approach
doing.
and departure.
You know, one car which I loved because of the tighter overhangs, the Jazz.
Ah,
Honda at that point of time had a tagline: "Man maximum, machine minimum." What a fantastic quote that was! And I know it as a fact because I owned a Jazz for some time, and the overhangs were so tight that all this pavement stuff never bothered it.
and since we're on the subject, you know what else has really small overhangs? Any kind of performance car, because you push the wheels to the edges, you
Yep.
get maximum
Yep,
stability.
Yep. But here we are talking about ability, right? The confidence which one gets in situations. Okay, I was talking to a couple of guys in Manali, and the desires there are taking on hell, but they need help, right? They need a lot of help, or else they are taking the bumpers out.
Yeah.
Why? Because of the same problem. But a Brezza is doing things better. It's
Yeah,
also
those
a
breads
front
are
wheel.
diesels, man. They're
Brezza diesels, enormous amount of torque. Third gear, go and forget about it. You know, and because of the overhangs, because of the clearance issues, they are doing a better job. They are also front wheel drive. कौन सा Brezza all wheel drive है? But the ability in a so-called SUV is marginally more than a sedan or a hatchback. I'm sorry guys, not including Lord Alto. That little thing can go anywhere, do anything. So let's not talk about certain cars which have a eternal ability of doing stuff.
No, again, you have to understand that Lord Alto is also piloted by people who are doing that every day.
Every
So,
day,
in a
yeah.
very similar way to
Yeah,
you
yeah.
or me driving a sedan
Yeah,
to
yeah.
these tremendously remote locations that we often do, it's the same for them.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
doing it
Every day.
I mean, you'd probably not have an average Joe be able to do that in his
Correct.
Alto.
Even like when we are going to Hanle, like you remember we went to Hanle and all these remote, desolate places, right? There are people there. For them, it's a daily thing, right? You go to Ladakh, you'll go out for a run, and you'll come back in a ambulance. Locals there are running their normal
Everywhere,
routine
yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
So that's how the body, and similarly it's with cars. People who know the road, people who know what to do, what's coming up, they will prepare and act.
Okay, so now we've got Rahul on this podcast for a very, very specific reason, because you can pick his brain on once you do have a genuine SUV, how you go about prepping it for the worst case. Or, I mean, if that's your thing, then the best case. I mean, if you go out looking for trouble, like Rahul does often,
Yes, I am in search of trouble most of the time.
then how do you prep your SUV for the person you are and the adventures you want to take on? First, there's a whole lot of legalities to this.
Yes.
Which I never understood. I just put what I like. What is the legalities? What are you allowed to do? What are you not allowed to do?
So, it's a very gray area in India. Legality, rules. A cop on the side of the road is the Chief Justice of India. It's totally on him what he wants to do with you, and whether he'll put a 5,000 rupee challan, whether he'll take out your auxiliary lights and hit them on a wall, trying to break them out. It's his jurisdiction. But there are rules.
You have auxiliary rights.
Of
on
course,
your-
I have auxiliary lights on my car.
Okay.
But let's start with
Are
something.
they legal?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
What makes them legal?
None of the things put on my car are illegal.
Okay.
Okay. Uh,
Okay, how
for
do you go
those
about like?
for those who are not aware, I have a little chimney, and that's my pride and joy. And
It's
I
not
make
like this is the first time that he's mentioning it, but he's really proud of it. So
so let's start with a basic thing which everybody goes and does: wheels and tires.
okay,
The rule book says that your tire, whether you are upsizing it or whatever you are doing with it, should not exceed the bodywork of your car.
that's like an aesthetic rule, no?
No, it is a rule. It's a rule in the CMVR, whatever that thing is called.
Okay,
Okay. So, internationally, what happens? Why is that rule there? Okay. The rule is there because when you're driving on mud, snowy
Ruts,
patches, ruts, you have a lot of stones flying out, right? If you do not have that wheel arch and mud flaps, it'll hit somebody. It could hit somebody, lethally injure human beings
Yeah.
or animals. That's why internationally, if you upgrade your tire, upsize your tire, you have to ensure that the tire and the fender arch are within tolerance, right? In India, it's a totally gray area. लगा लो जो करना है, पंजाब चलो 40 इंची का टायर लगाओ. And as they say, people are also at fault. Okay, it's not just the cops. Cops are finding a way to fine you, and in certain cases, they have a right to fine you also. For my car, I have done a +1 update, which is a 215.
No. I'm not letting you get away so easily. Explain what 215.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. I have a 215 Yokohama Geolander tire on my car, which is one size up than the standard size.
So you have a 16-inch tire?
No, 15.
Okay. So it's not size up then. That's what I'm leading you
no.
to. Please.
We'll get to the 16, 17, 20, 32.
Yeah, so when you say one size up, what do you mean?
I mean that the width of the tire and the height of the tire are larger
How do you identify those?
by the numbers on there.
Yeah.
215 by 16, whatever.
So
Right?
215 is?
The width,
Yeah.
right? And the height of the basically your sidewall.
That's not 215. So,
The
okay.
215 is the width of
Yeah,
the tire.
is the
bro.
section.
Section.
And
Make it
65
technical. Okay. That's hello DD to you. Okay. Please explain my
65
Jimny tire to the
Yeah,
ladies and
so
gentlemen.
he's gone up one size, meaning he's gone up one size in section, which means the surface area and contact is larger.
Yes.
What he has gone down is one size in profile, which was a 75. You've gone down to a 65 now,
Yes.
which means that the distance from the rim to the top of the tire as a percentage of the section. So 65% of the section, which is 225, is the width of the tire. Now, please tell us why you've done this.
Confused? Sit hello and thank you to Didi. Okay, so the most important thing on that tire is that it is a 80 tire. Okay, now what do you mean by 80?
Wow.
80 means
I love how you're just hitting the viewer, listener
the car
with words.
came with. Okay, let me confuse a bit more. The car came with HT tires, and I moved to 80 tires and not empty tires.
That's because you work for Auto Today and not Motor
Hey,
Trend.
that's a nice one, huh?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, 80 also on the tires. HT is highway terrain, 80 is all terrain, MT is mud terrain. Okay. Now this Yokohama, whatever I have, the tires,
The Geolanders.
the Geolanders, was one option. The other option was to go up to 235. But that would mean I would buy a BF Goodrich mud terrain tire with proper block patterns on them. Okay. Now I spoke to CV Raman, who was the main guy, engineer behind the
So many Marutis. Raman
so
sir
many
is-
Marutis, but also the Jimny 5-door.
Yeah, is a great person to talk to. He's one
He's
of the
such a wonderful person to talk
and
to.
you can talk to him about anything about cars, and
Yeah.
he is always happy to have a chat, despite his I mean, he has so much on his plate you wouldn't even believe, but he will always take out 5 minutes to talk to you about cars and bikes whenever you want to, even if it's not like relevant to the market. And it's one of the best things about him.
Yes. So he had told me ki stick to 215s primarily because if you go to 235, you will ruin the ride quality. You will also hamper the suspension in the sense that your suspension will die out much faster. You will have
Because it's
wheel
a heavier
alignment
tire.
issues. Yes. You will have also have wheel alignment issues. And when you take it properly off road, wear and tear on various other parts will be much higher. Now, I wanted my car to be an everyday car as well. I drive it to office every day almost. So I didn't want a situation where it would be unbearable.
Yeah, and empty tires are unbearable for another reason.
Noise.
Trrrt.
And even, see, the more grip you have on tarmac, the more friction you are creating, your mileage will also go down. Right? So, overall, he guided me that I should stick to the Geolanders. Now, the plus point of the Geolander is the 215s is that if you look at the fender flare of the chimney,
Lines up
it is absolutely like if you put a scale on top, it is absolutely on line. It is sitting on the factory steely wheels without any mods, and this is the reason no cop can catch me and find me. Problem occurs when you go properly upsize. You have tires sticking out of your vehicle body. Now, how is that bad? It just makes your car so much more dirtier. It's throwing up everything. It's like a washing machine, churning out mud, muck, whatever shit. I don't like dirty cars. Unless they are properly dirty, you've gone
When
off-roading.
is the next time you're going to Punjab?
Not in the near future. I
Or
am.
cancelling all plans?
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. Come on. Let's take it on. Those are useless.
Okay.
Okay. Especially when I see Thars and these other SUVs.
22s.
22-inch wheels with low profile tires. I mean, the tires look like a paint streak on the wheel. It's a 4x4 for crying out loud.
But I feel like these guys do their penance on earth only. Because on 22s, that man, if he has to drive a Thar, for example, I've seen several of them
Oh
on
my
22s.
God.
I
How
often wonder how they
painful.
get
Yeah.
out of their car after they've driven 100 kilometers.
It's crazy.
Because
Also, it's illegal.
Yeah.
Also, it's illegal. You have to work on the car to put on stuff like that. If you watch, I'm a big fan of Australians, off-road culture, and the way they do their upgrades is so good. They are responsible themselves, right? They will not just Australia is mainly a ute market. Ute matlab crew cab, pickup body, and they do huge mods on those trucks. But what they call a GVM upgrade, right? So the gross vehicle weight is changed properly, legally, to have stuff like that on their cars. And wheels, tires, suspension, everything is modded. But everything is legal. Why? Because they have followed the rules of doing it. If you I'll tell you an example. You remember the time when we went to Hanle with the GLCs? We had a Isuzu D-Max pickup truck. Were you there with us on that
No, I
drive?
wasn't. But I've heard stories.
On the way back, it was running oversized tires. Okay? And we had borrowed that car from a friend of ours as a backup car for all our equipment and all of those things.
And this is a very, very, let's say, automotive savvy friend.
Yes. And we were coming down near Chandigarh, flying down the highway, and the front left wheel flew off. Why? Because the car belonged to someone and he forgot to tell me that make sure you tighten the wheels and nuts every day because the weight of the wheel and the tire puts so much pressure on the wheel
Lug
set,
nuts, yeah.
that lug nuts, that they tend to come off loose. So it's not that every day it will go loose. But it will go loose, which he forgot to tell us. And we saw that wheel fly off. And this is at 80, 90 kph at 11:30 in the night on the Zirakpur highway. Right? So this is what you are calling for. So whatever you do with your vehicle has to be done sensibly and follow the rules. The rules are there for a reason. I am not saying that you have to follow everything to the T, but follow basic rules. Upgrades are good, but upgrades done irresponsibly is not advisable.
Okay, so we've covered tires. Your tires need to be the same size and they need to fit flush in your wheel arches. They
Yes.
shouldn't be overextended to stay within the
Yeah.
law. You can change your tires, but
See, 235 bhi chalta hai on a Jimny. Okay, it's not too bad. So
Yeah.
cops will not see and say, pakado, pakado.
yeah,
ऐसा नहीं.
235 I think
okay.
is a
As long as you are fine with
functional
the
choice
horrible
as in-
ride quality and the noise and all of that every
the
day.
ride quality is actually better because those
Lug nuts are absorbing.
no
also.
those
the
little yeah
grommets, whatever. So that's what. So you have to just be careful with the tires and wheels.
okay. So now let's move on to your next favorite thing, which is lights.
Oh,
What's legal, what's not legal, and what's recommended. Ooh, those big bars that you put on the top of the SUV.
light bars.
Yes, no, maybe. Where do we stand? Are those cool? Are they?
Officially, they are okay. Any aftermarket light,
Yeah.
be it a roof light, be it mount. So it's all about mounting points, right?
Yeah.
You have a bar light which you generally mount on the roof. You can have round aux spot lamps on the roof also. You can mount it on the front radiator grill. All of that is okay. But what is not okay is using them in the city.
Why then? How will you scare auto drivers?
You will scare the auto driver, but you will incur a huge fine.
Okay. In the city, define in the city.
Okay. So the rule says in the CMVR that you can have these lights, but you are not allowed to use them unless in adverse conditions and at all given time.
Have you been to Gurgaon recently?
I think that was adverse enough to use your spot lamps. But the lamps should always be properly covered. Now, by covered, they mean that ek to you have the covers which come with the lights in any which way. You can put them on, but they tend to get stolen. On my car, I have tailor-made black covers for the
Oh, you're
spot
not
lamps.
running the stock black magic covers.
No, those are in the boot. So that's when I want to show off.
So you take out the custom black covers and then you put on the black magic covers and then you arrive.
Yes.
Nice.
So so I know I'm coming to office. So I'm not worried.
Okay.
Okay, but if I'm going to Palika Bazar parking, then I will not have the Hela covers. They are way too expensive to replace on a daily basis. So those lights have to be covered. The next big thing to talk about is, do the cops have the right to damage your vehicle if they find spot lamps on your vehicle? A few days back in Chandigarh or in one of these hilly areas where there was fog and everything, cops were stopping SUVs, cars, whatever, with spot lamps. They were physically removing it and breaking them in front of you. Why? Why?
No, you tell me. I don't know.
How dare anybody touch my private property? It's my car. It's my lights. I have paid over 12K a piece for them.
So are they legal?
Yes,
Then why the cops break them?
because they want to.
Accountability?
Account none. If you are blaring that light on to an oncoming traffic in a normal condition, the cop has every right to stop you and challan you.
So how you know they weren't doing that?
Huh? Sorry?
How do you know that they weren't doing that to have been in that situation?
Could be.
Okay.
But you cannot break my car for that.
Okay.
They were damaging vehicles.
Okay.
Right? They had a local mechanic there who was trying to remove. You know the funny bit? There was a guy with a clear water light.
Oh no.
Okay? He was he was laughing because those clear water lamps were unbreakable. So the cops and everybody tried to break them for 45 minutes and then gave it back to the owner. कि ये टूट नहीं रहा है. It's like Fevicol का मजबूत जोड़. Those guys have no clue what they're doing.
But how much do those clear water lights cost?
$45,000 a piece. So it's about 90K for
I wouldn't
a
have
pair.
been laughing.
Huh?
I wouldn't have been laughing.
Because he knew nobody would be able to break them. He would go back and put them on any which ways. So what is the idea behind breaking the light? कि ये फिर से दोबारा नहीं लगाएगा. 500 meters down the road, you will find another accessory shop with those auxiliary lamps. I can put them on. Right? Most guys on the road are running those police lights and hooters. Who's stopping them? Who's stopping them? You're not supposed to do that either. It's illegal to do that.
Especially that.
Right? But you put these on the SUVs and you go for it. Nobody stops you because everybody is scared of you. But a common man, क्या कर लेगा?
So what do you do then? What is your advice? When
My advice is to be very safe.
No, you've been caught by cops.
Yeah.
They're smashing your headlights. What do you do?
Well, nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do. That's how helpless the common man is right now in India. He has nothing to do.
Just
There is
social
no
media.
CMVR which you can show because they will not see. Like today, Didi, you don't need to carry physical documents in your vehicle. Right? You don't need to carry physical documents, neither your license. But when you're stopped by a cause, कागज दिखाओ. किस चीज का कागज? वो आपका फोन है ना, उस पर लगाओ नंबर, सब मिलेगा आपको. What can you do? They will challenge you for not having PUC certificate. What certificate are you talking about? It's already there on the वाहन portal. आपको फाइन लगाना है, वाहन पोर्टल से फाइन लगाइए. किसने मना किया?
I don't think they do that anymore.
They do. Especially on the highways. Not in the cities. Not in the cities that
You're
much.
saying state police. Or
State police, highway police, कागज दिखाओ. किस लिए? क्या कागज दिखना है? नया गाड़ी है. क्या कागज दिखाओगे? नंबर प्लेट लगा हुआ है, HSRP, फास्टैग लगा हुआ है, सामने बैरिकेड खुल रहा है. क्या परेशानी है तुमको?
Let's recap the rule for lights again.
Lights is that you cannot use it in city areas. This is in India only. Because everywhere else, people are much more careful. They don't do stupid stuff. So it's a belief that they
So
will
yeah,
not.
I mean the cultural education of our
Correct.
population is slightly
Correct.
okay.
So you have to keep them covered if you're driving in fog. Last December, I have used my lights in the fog. And I have gone past police pickets. Nobody stopped me. सामने कुछ दिख रहे. Those spot lamps are there for that reason. तो अगर मेरे को सामने नहीं दिख रहा है और अगर मैंने ये लाइट जला दिया तो मुझे दिख रहा है एक्सीडेंट होने का चांस कम है, तो क्यों रोक रहे हो मुझे? And I have driven, I remember.
So legally, you're allowed to have it as
Yeah.
long as it's covered outside of adverse conditions.
Yes. So I have driven.
Everything.
Yes. So I have driven my car in front of police pickets in December. In
So
thick
those
fog.
tube lights, front, rear, wherever.
Yeah.
All of them
that
are
work,
legal.
but you have to keep them covered in the city.
Yeah, okay.
Unless like you are doing bakwas with it, nobody will generally stop you. I have thankfully not been stopped once. It's been 2 years that those lights are on.
Is there any rule about how far ahead of the bumper, how far behind the bumper? Whether it's
Yes. So as far as I know, the ones which they put on the bonnet hinges are not right. Because they are in the direct field of vision.
And also pedestrian safety, I'm assuming.
वो तो है ही. But roof lights, you can. No problem. You put on the roof lights, but you have to put them properly covered. Cover करके रखो, कोई नहीं रोकेगा. I have driven that Jimny across Delhi, Noida, Gurgaon, Ghaziabad. And of course, on the highways. Always covered properly. Never stopped.
Okay. Next thing. Let's talk about. We've spoken about lights. We've spoken
Tires
now,
and wheels.
Tires and wheels. Your next favorite modification: Bulbars and bumpers. I know you've been on the market for a bumper for a while.
But I haven't. I am not yet convinced.
A stock bumper. Why?
first and foremost, I think the stock
Okay, why
bumper.
do people get metal bumpers?
Okay. So the idea
Maximum
behind
kill force.
yes,
What?
yes. When you're driving in the hills and stuff like that with snow, you need to move stuff around like snow, mud, whatever. You need strength. Plastics will break, metal will not. So when you need to push snow, when you need to push mud, you need metal bumpers. But do I need it? No. That's what, and that's the reason you see that it's still not on my car. Because I myself am not convinced.
Whether you need it or not.
Yeah, because the bumper is designed well, and it does a good job. So I am not getting stopped anywhere. On my tracks, not by the cops. On my tracks, I can do stuff. Then why change? What is the point?
But what is the legality around it?
Again, nothing much is specified on the CMVR. It comes under modifications, but it is just a matter of whether you can slyly cultify or not. Bulbars, you are not allowed. The ones which you used to see on Tata Sumos and all, they are illegal. They are deemed illegal. You cannot put them because of pedestrian safety. Point blank.
And also they're like stupid in their construction. Most of them are locally designed. They mount onto the chassis.
I love the ARB Bulbar /
No.
bumper on the chimney. They look
One
killer.
second. The ARBs are mounted onto the bumper, not onto the chassis.
Yeah, ARBs are mounted onto the chassis, not onto the bumpers. What are you talking about?
The ARB Bulbar is mounted onto the chassis.
There
It
are
can't
many
be.
models.
It can't be.
So there are
On the mounting points of the bumper.
so there are 2 units, right? You have one which have bolts, so the bull bar can be removed, and then you also have ones which are fixed on. So it's the bumper and the bull bar is one unit, and the bumper mounts onto the chassis. That's how it is.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
So that's why I have not yet spent the money on the bumpers, because I still don't feel that I am doing stuff which requires that. Maybe if I am going to Narkanda this December and I end up breaking my front bumper or rear bumper, then maybe I think about it, but not now.
okay. So I mean, this was a very short and special podcast that we're doing because we are around that SUV season when people will want to go out, when people will want to buy new SUVs. Let's quickly recap the legalities, what framework we can work in, what people should consider when buying an SUV. Okay, let's start with what people should consider while buying an SUV.
Buy a 4x4 all-wheel drive SUV if you think that you are adventurous enough to take on trips which involve snow and ice driving. Not off-road per se, but terrain.
Yeah. It comes at a cost. You will realize that there's less space in the cabin. It's not going to be as
Like
comfortable.
this new SUV which Maruti Suzuki has just announced,
Yeah.
the Victoris,
Yeah.
comes with all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So if you want, like if you are in the hills and you have a home, let's say for example you have a place in Mussoorie, you are going there around the year. In the winters you might need it. So why not? So that's point number 1. Second is, there are a lot of issues with legality in India, and one point which we missed out on, and I'll quickly browse on it, on the accessories bit of it. Snorkels.
Oh, yeah.
Snorkels are very important if you consider traveling in terrain again. Like a car will be able to cross.
I think you should get a snorkel if you live in Gurgaon.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So
Definitely. But again, a snorkel doesn't make you invincible, because if you go in water really deep, the car starts floating. That's what happens to a lot of these SUVs, so-called. They go in thinking that, okay, I have a high air box.
I mean, there's so much. You've just opened a water waiting depth is a whole 4 feet of water. I believe is enough to 4 feet is
Yes,
enough
yes.
to
Start
push
floating.
a car
For
out
sure.
of its. Yeah.
For sure. So, put in a snorkel if you are really adventurous. Like on my first trip, I went in. The river was not flowing that much. I was brave. I crossed the river, went off. But by the time I was coming down, a couple of hours later, the river was started flowing. The tide or whatever they had coming. So I had to actually drive on the riverbed for about 3-4 kilometers before I found a spot where I could climb on. But if I would have had a snorkel that day, I would have crossed. So these are the things which you should take care of. Be responsible yourself. You have an SUV. Simple idea. When you are in Gurgaon and you are wading through water, you have a snorkel. You are in a Gurkha, which comes with a
4x4x4.
yeah, and a factory fit snorkel. Be considerate about other people on that road. If you splash water onto an oncoming, let's say a smaller car, an SUV, if water goes into his airbox, he will stall. So slow down. You have nothing to worry. You have a snorkel. So slow down. Give him a chance. Give the other person a chance. Think about it. If you all think about the pointers we are talking about today, you will make SUV culture better. The cops will allow you to do more. Right? कि responsible है यहाँ के लोग. ऐसे
Don't
नहीं
be a
होता.
nuisance. Yeah.
Don't be a nuisance on the road. Just because you have a big SUV which can wade through water, don't make other people's life miserable.
Yeah.
That's what the basic things are, and I really hope that you find some interesting things in our podcast this week, because it's all about you.
Exactly.
It's all about you, so that we can pass on some knowledge, some insights which might not come naturally to most people.
Especially people starting out their journey, people who want to know more about what it takes to be an SUV, why this craze started, what you can achieve with an actual SUV, what you can achieve with most of the SUVs on the market also. We really hope you enjoyed this podcast. Of course, as always, if you have questions, leave them in the comments.
Any questions? Yes.
Yeah. About what SUV do you have to buy, what's the difference between a 4x4 and an all-wheel drive, things that we didn't touch upon today. We'll be sure to get back to you. I think that is it from us for this episode. We're signing off.
Thank you so much.